Hi everyone, Kate here, and welcome to my What's in My Bag video. Instead of showing you what's actually in my bag, instead I'm going to be talking about what Victorian ladies carried in their bags. This video was inspired by a question I received in my recent Q&A video. April Cunningham asked, what did Victorian/Edwardian ladies carry in their purses? The easy answer to this question would have been a simple, well, they really didn't carry that much. But I decided to do a bit more research in the topic, and I've come up with a more in-depth answer. To simplify my research, I've decided just to focus on the Victorian period for the purposes of this video. I've also decided to just focus on everyday purses, instead of things like traveling bags, which would have been used for longer trips and contained a different variety of items, or work bags, which were intended to store one's latest needlework projects. Before we talk about what was actually inside the purses, let's talk for a second about what the purses look like on the outside. Victorian women tended to carry much smaller, daintier bags than the huge purses of today. One of the more well-known styles was a type of bag called a reticule. This is a small bag with a strap to be worn around the wrist. Usually they're drawstring, but I have seen a few examples that just featured a simple strap instead of a drawstring closure. Of course, Victorians also had purses that were much larger, as well as purses that were much smaller, such as coin purses, which were intended to be carried in one's pocket. While doing my research for this video, I discovered a lot of fashion illustrations from the time don't actually feature purses. It's my speculation this is partly because upper-class women didn't need to use a purse to carry coins, as they could simply buy items on account. But it could also just be due to the fact that small coin purses were often carried in one's pocket and are simply not visible in the illustrations. So what did they carry inside these purses? Well, with the exception of bags meant for traveling, most purses didn't carry a lot, nor did they really need to. Think about what you have in your own purse. Cell phones, various credit cards, reward cards, gift cards, makeup, car keys. None of these are items that a Victorian lady would have needed to carry. With the exception of makeup, most of these products weren't even around yet. Speaking of makeup, while it was available to a certain extent, it was still mostly frowned upon by society. If you were using paints, you would have done so in the privacy of your own home. You certainly would not want to have been seen carrying them around with you. Other grooming products they used, such as creams and powders, would also have been applied at home and not toted around, unless of course one was traveling a fair distance. Okay, well that's all well and good, but what did they need to carry? Well, mainly money, a handkerchief, and perhaps a few small other items such as a pencil or calling cards. Some of these items, such as a handkerchief, could also have been carried in one's pocket, and some women actually carried a very small purse just intended for coins in their pocket instead of carrying a larger handbag. To get some first-hand accounts of Victorian purse contents, I consulted the Proceedings of the Old Bailey, which is a website that contains the transcripts of over 197,000 criminal trials that were held at London's Central Criminal Court between 1674 and 1913. In particular, I searched for theft accounts of ladies' handbags in the Victorian era. While many theft trials only list the money held within the purse, I did find a few accounts which list some of the other contents contained in the ladies' purses. One interesting thing to note is that a lot of these accounts list the items contained in the bags as the property of the husband, not of the woman actually carrying the bag. So I'm not going to read every account I found. I've just selected a few that I feel were a good representation of the majority. Well, I hope those first-hand accounts have given you a little bit of insight into the everyday lives of Victorian women. Well, at least those Victorian women that had the misfortune of having their purses stolen. I really enjoyed making this kind of more in-depth video, so if you have any more topics you would like me to cover in this style of video, please let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye! A bag, a purse, 11 pouches. Try it again. Hey. Hi. You want to be my purse too? No. The easy answer to this question is not much. The end.